Hello, wonderful people, and welcome to today's training on graphic designing with Canva. And my name is still Bernard. Now, today we'll be designing something simple like this from scratch. We are not using any templates, and yeah, we'll do some few tricks here and there. So let's get right into it. Okay, so now if you look at my tab, you see that I'm using 48 by 48 inches. So like I always, and then like I keep explaining that, sometimes I like to use a bigger size like that, so that if I have to print or maybe use a bigger space or bigger printing for it, it will be easier to use it than to use the actual flyer size, which is just the flyer size. I cannot print it on anything big. So I come to customize size and then put my 48 by 48 inches, and then I open an empty Canva, which I'll work with. Now this is 48 by 48. So now let's get right into it. Okay, so this is what I did, and let's get right into it. So first of all, let's come to elements and then search for a black background. So oh no, black background. And I made a spelling mistake. Okay, so now I would search for all, or go to the photos and then scroll down, and this is exactly what I'm looking for. So dark black grouch brick wall texture background. That's a lot. So I click and then position and then stretch to fill, and then stretch here also, and I think I'm okay. And that's what I used. So now I insert other elements. So I think I would want it to be dark just a little bit. So I'll come up to my element and then put one of these elements over it and give it a color of black, a deep black color. So I hide it just a little bit. I fill it, and then I need to do transparency rather. So something like this is okay. Something like this is okay. So now I insert my other element. So still with this, and I stretch and size it to what I want, and then rotate it to let's say negative 2 is okay for me, and then change the color to a very solid red, and then make sure this is positioned in the center. Yes, this is centered. So let's get into it. Okay, so now I insert my other element. So I come to element and then search for elements. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes when I don't know what to search for, when I don't know what to search for, I just come to elements and then search for elements and elements, and then I get lots of suggestions, and then I use the ones that I think I'm okay with. So I come to graphics and see all, and then scroll down. This is exactly what I'm looking for. White dynamic elements. This is exactly what I'm looking for. So I zoom in to rotate. Sometimes when you're far or when you're zoomed out, you can't do some things very well, and it may misbehave. So I normally, when I want to do some detailed stuff, I would want to zoom in first before doing it, so that it will be smooth. it will be smooth for me. So I'll use my arrow keys now because I think the mouse wasn't really working for me well. So I think this is okay. Forget about the space here. We'll fill it with the microphone. So now let's get into it. I need to insert this text that is a podcast. So let me insert the text podcast. So come to text and then just insert any text box and then write my podcast in caps. So if I didn't write in caps or if I didn't put my cap locks on, I can just come to just change it here and then also rotate it to 2 and increase it just right. Now I would want to change the font style. I would want to change the font style so that it will be sort of boldened and it will look solid for me. So I have to change the font style. So sometimes I keep saying I have to try a lot of things to see what works and then what doesn't work. So you can target most of the boldened fonts, or if I should say most of the sort of thick fonts, but I would want to use this very one. So I increase the font size. So let me just type it in. So let me try 500 and it's okay. Let me try 600 and I think I like it like that. So it's taller than the elements I inserted. So you see this is getting in my way. The black cover we inserted is getting in my way, but I can just increase it here. Or increase it to the down and then just move all these ones down. So let me bring it back and just a little bit and then move this down just a little bit to create enough space at the top. And I think I'm okay with this. And position to the center. Yes, it's centered. And just stretch the text box out just a little bit and then come to spacing and then space the letters just a little bit, not too much. Let's try 90. Okay, I think this is okay. And then now I would intentionally reduce the transparency to 50 and then duplicate it and then take it back to 100. So it creates this kind of effect for me. It creates this kind of effect for me, which I really like. So I just position it. I use the arrow key to position to make sure it looks good. And if you look at it, it looks like a 3D effect. So I come to elements and then I search for microphones at element. Microphone at element. And then I look for the one I think I'm okay with. I use this very one. So the name is microphone function icon. So now this is red. This is black. So and let me put this somewhere. Let me just leave it here and then insert this. Just any of this element, any of this shape, square. Let me insert, and then there's a trick. I take it over the A. I think it's not in front. Let me bring it to front. Take it over the A and then just resize it and cover this part of the A. Cover that part of the A. So I would have to do it. I would have to change the color to white, the color of the text, and make sure it is not over. It's not out of So I can choose to rotate it or just resize, but I think it's okay. Yes, so it covered the A, that part of the A, and then let me zoom out and then bring my microphone. This is my microphone, and bring this microphone. It's also at the back, so let me bring it to front and then resize it and position it. Now I'd want to change it to this color, so I come to my color and then come to add new color and then choose this, pick a color. So when I select this, it will give me the option to pick which color I'd want. So you see there, this is the white, the white part of the sea, and then when I go here, you see that there's a different color here. The white, the same white, but I reduced the transparency. So it's giving me a different code of color, which I'm not aware. So I just use a color picker, to pick that, and there it is. So since I have that, I would duplicate the microphone and then change it to the actual red I am using. So now I zoom in again. When I want to do some detailed stuff, I have to zoom in so that I'll be sure what I am doing, and then position it again. So it still gives me the same effect as the A, or as the other, as a full podcast word, and then the kind of a shadow or kind of a 3D effects that I've created. So now we are getting somewhere. So now let me insert this text. And then insert this dummy logo, which I created for tutorial purposes. So let's get right into it. So I come and then insert a text box, right? I insert a text box and then also rotate it to the -2 that I've been using already. Yes, this is -2, and then I wrote 1 2 3 4 studios presents. 1 2 3 4 studios presents, and I didn't type in uppercase or cap locks, so I can just select and then come here and then change it. So now I position it well. I can position it, I think this is okay for me, and then we are getting somewhere. So now let me go to Google and then search for microphones, because I actually got that from Google. Microphones. Let me try images. I think I didn't type something right. So, but I think it's okay. So this is the very one I used. I think so. No, that's not it. But this is actually similar to what I used. So we can actually decide to use that. But let's scroll through and then see if we can see something. Okay, for time's sake, I would want to use that very one because of time. But and like sometimes I keep saying that some of the things you just have to relax and then look for exactly what works for you. But for the recording sake, so that it will not be too long, let me just use this. Very one. No, let me go up. Yes, this very one. So what we'll do is I'll go to remove.bg, and then when it loads, I'll just have to upload my microphone. So like I said, or like I keep saying, you don't have to pick it directly from here because there's a thumbnail. So we just click and then wait for it to load. When it finishes loading, when I think it's done loading, when it finishes loading, you just have to either save it and then take it to where you'll be working with. But I'll show you another trick. I would not have to. I don't like saving on my PC. I don't like saving a lot of things on my PC because I'm very particular about space, and I wouldn't want to. I would say waste my space. So this is what you can download and then pick it and then drop it in the remove.bg. But you can also click on it and then drag it to remove my BG and then drop it there. And this is one issue. So meaning, it said, let's read what it said. It said only JPG and PNG images are supported. So meaning this file is not a JPEG image. So let me try this and let it load. It's not downloading. When you would notice when it's not done, when you click on it, it becomes blur, but for some time then it becomes very sharp. So then that it's downloading. So I drag it over and drop it and wow, this is also. And okay, let me try this. Let me try the last one and then look for another one if none of them works. So let's try that. I think it's downloading, so take it over and drop it. Ooh. So I need to look for a different microphone. And this is how sometimes it is. You just have to struggle. Yes, you just have to, and it's all about patience. You just have to go through and look for what works for you. Let's try this. I'm not sure this. Yes. So we just have to keep looking through. Sometimes you just have to take your time. It's I would want to try that. And this, funny enough, this is already a PNG, so I can just copy this directly and bring it over and paste. Yes, it's a PNG without a background. So we move, cutting the excess off. I don't like the excess. Okay, so and it's positioned well for me. Now I would want to put this kind of effects at the back, so I came to elements and then searched for circles, and let Canva do its magic and then load all the circles available. And I chose graphics. I went to graphics and then selected all. So when it finished loading, I think I inserted this very one. So position, it's black by default, is black. So position and then change it to white. And after changing it to white, I take it behind the microphone. But the color had changed because we already have a black element here, which has gone behind that particular black element. I would maintain it like that, but if not for it's going to the back of the black element, this is how I wanted it to be. So then I would have just reduced the transparency, and then I've still had gotten that same effect. So just for you to also know how to go around something like that, looking for solutions here and there, because sometimes sometimes you'd have to improvise, there are lots of times you have to improvise, doing a lot of things to get what you want. So we are moving on. So now we'll create this time and date and host and guest. So I come here and I go to my elements. And then I insert this very one, which it's rounded square. For some reason I've been using it and I don't know the name. So rounded square, and rotate it to my 2 degrees. I think no, I didn't rotate this very one. So let me just maintain this very one, undo and resize. Position wherever I want, and I need to change something here. The edge is too round, so I think this will work for me. And then change it to white. I think, yeah, this is white. And duplicate it and stretch it out just a little bit. Now there's a trick. I come to color and then pick no color, and then I come to the border and give it a border. So let's do something thicker. It's black, so you're not seeing it. So I'll come to border color and change the border color. So now I can see and position it. I think I've created that effect, but I want the border a little thicker. So I'll come to border and make it just a little thick, and then resize, position, and make sure I've done the right thing. And I think I have. Okay, and then now I insert my text. So I'd say time. My cap lock is not on, so I would have to put it on, and then reduce this size to something 100, and it's white, that's why you're not seeing it. So I change it to my color red, and then duplicate it, and then I moved the wrong thing. Duplicate it and write let's say 9 p.m. Now it's not bolding, so I'll bolden and position it well. So I think that's done. And then insert again, because of this element that is making the background just a little darker. When I select, it will select that in addition. So I don't want that. Or I can decide to delete that for the meantime, so I can work freely. Then after everything, I put it back. So let me just keep it like that. And then here it says what, date. So my date, I just have to increase the container just a little bit, since my date is kind of longer. So 3rd September 2023. So I also need to increase the text box, sorry. So we said 3rd 9/3/9/23. Oh, 3, no, 23. Yes, that. So I think the container is a little too big, so I can bring it back just a little bit, and I think I'm okay with that. So I insert the host, just writing something. So let me insert this. resize, I think it's there. I think I need to resize just a little bit, and then round, make the edge just a little round. I think that's okay. And then duplicate. Now this is the trick here. Stretch this out, and then also pick no color for that, and then give it a border width, and then change the color to that of that, and then just make it slightly bigger than the first one, and then position it in the middle, and then we create this kind of style. So I would say host, and just put, make sure it's aligned. I'm trying to be sure it's aligned. Ooh. And that is okay. Hosts, let me just write something. I wrote Mr. Sly. I don't even know who Mr. Sly is. And okay, let me leave it this way. I don't know what I have written, but I want to leave it this way. And then copy the whole thing and duplicate for the guests. So guest, GUST, and guest. Let me just put my name, Bernard. So Mr. Bernard. That's not what I wanted to. I don't know where this is from. So let me just delete that. And then stretch it out just a little bit so this can, and that's good. Okay, I think that's that. And then just put my topic. I don't know what I wrote. Okay, let me just put a topic, topic. So I still duplicate and then positioned it here. And then just write topic and stretch this out, since there will be a lot of write-up. So let me try something. Oh, I think I didn't do it right, but there's this text you can get when you type a particular keyword. I think, let me try it again. Long. No, I'm not getting it right. But I just want to put some dummy text here. So graphic, graphic design. I'm just putting some dummy text, and I need to make sure it fits into my container. So stretch out the container just a little bit, and then make sure the container fits, and I think that's good. So let me insert this element, and since I've been using red, when I insert another one, it came with the red. And then here I would put my my QR code, because it's a podcast and then it's online. I wouldn't want to put too much information, so I just put a dummy QR code which people can scan and then join it online. I am putting a dummy QR code. So I position it, and then see this container. I create this container, and it's on top of the QR code, so I have to take it back. So I would want to take it back to the QR code. Let me do this and then take it back, and it's going back to the QR code. So and then change, since it's the white, let me change it to, and then write something like scan me to join, some dummy text. Scan me to join, and then I make it centered. And then what else? I input my socials. So the socials come to element, and then insert that again. Oh, I could have recycled. I could have just picked the ones that. So I pick no background, select, then change that to white, and position. I think I'm okay. Duplicate and position that also. I think I'm okay, and then insert a text, and say something like 1 2 3, social media. So so 1 2 3 podcast, and then let me just bring it, and then change the font size. I think I'd rather bring it here, and then insert my social media. That's the Facebook first. Facebook, position, and then resize, and then set my Instagram, and also position, and then resize. So I want to be sure what I'm doing, so I just have to zoom in, and I say something. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it should be as close as possible, as close to perfect as possible. So I'll hover it and then make sure it is as close as possible, and I think that's good. And then I bring it here. So what else? The website. Okay, but I want to add YouTube. Oh, and add this very one. And the problem is the YouTube icon is already red. The YouTube icon is already red. So maybe I would want to change it just a little bit. So let me see. Differentiating it just a little bit, and then duplicate this for the website. So .com, and then alignment, it is aligned, and then search for globe, and set that. Oh, where it is. And change that to white, and I think I'm done. So let me zoom out, and then let me insert my dummy logo I created. I created a dummy logo for tutorial purposes, so I rotate it to my 2, does that, and resize. So yes, this close to what I want. Make sure it's well aligned. Let me zoom out to see what I have done, and I think it's looking good. And let me okay, let me just insert that. You can see some red at the top, so it's the same element, and I just lifted it to the top just to create that effect. I think we are done. Yeah, I believe you are done. So now this is what I did. If you look at it, you could see this is the flyer, but you could see it is the same thing at the back, sort of a background faded out. So that's what I did. Now to download from Canva, I've shown in previous tutorials how to download from Canva. So you just come to share, and then you come to downloads. Now by default, it's always on PNG, so you just change it to JPEG, and there's a free account, so you can't switch anything here. And this is just save document settings. So what this very one does is as by default it was on, let's say, JPEG, and I click on this save settings. If I should do some changes and then come back to downloads, it will be on the settings I gave it initially. But if I don't click this, and then let's say I come to downloads, and then let me go ahead and download, it will load here. When this bar finishes, I have set my browser in a way that it will ask me where I want it to save before it saves. So when there should be a pop-up by now. Yes. So then I choose where I'd want to save, and then I would save here. Okay, I already have one, so let me just add something to the name podcast new and save. Now remember I said we unchecked, and you see it's gone back to PNG. But if we had checked this, it would have been on the saved one that we have, and that it's smoother for me. So I prefer always to save it, so when I come, I go straight to the settings, unless of course I would want to change it. But I like to always check this so that it remembers all the settings I've given it, and then when I download straight for it. Now downloading this is just one design, so it just went straight for it to download. But if I had multiple designs, so let me add a page, let me just add an empty page, let me just add another one, so that it will be like 3 designs, and then I come to downloads. You would see that it gives me okay, and then you realize I checked this, so it came automatically with the previous settings. That's the JPEG. But if I had not checked this, like, it would have been a different thing. So now you realize I've inserted 3 pages, so now it's giving me 3 pages, and I can actually select whichever one I want. So this is just to select all pages, and then this is to select current page. So the current page you're on, or the page that you are working on at the moment. This is where you can choose current page. So you normally have to put this off and then now choose current page. And you can also download all at once. But this is what, when you download all at once, it puts it in a zip folder, which I don't like, because sometimes I would want to move around some things, and then I would have to, you'd have to extract it. It's too much for me. So I download them one by one. I prefer that. And then sometimes too, I may not necessarily want to download everything. I just maybe did the changes to, maybe let's say page 1, and I just only want to download page 1, so I just choose that and then download that. I don't always want to download everything. So all I'm saying is, you can download all at once, but it will put it in a zip folder, which I don't like. So I choose to download them individually. So you just have to check. In them. So you have to be sure which page you are downloading, and then select that particular page. So you click all to uncheck, and then you click whichever page you want. If you are on the current page, just click current page, and then it will get that for you. So then you can download. Now there are no paid there are no paid elements here. So let me insert something of a pro. Yes, so this is a pro. I'm just, for tutorial purposes, let me just take it to the back. Go to the back, and then now try to download. So again, you remember I said check. So I checked, and they remembered this settings, and then remembered that settings. So when I go to download now, because I'm having a something premium, this is what would come. It will not go straight for it to download. So now it will ask you if you want to try pro, or you'd want to purchase. So normally, if I am okay with wherever the pro element is, and I don't think it will interfere with the design, I'll just go and then download a free watermark. So it will download it with a watermark on that particular element that is a pro. So just be careful with all that. So now, since I've downloaded that, let me delete this SS page, and then I'll still use this new page. So I've saved it, and then now I want to bring it back. Now the reason why I keep saying that I like using Canva in browser rather than in the app, this is some of the reason. I just downloaded an image, and then it comes here on my browser. So I just pick the image directly from here and then use it, which is very smooth for me. You have to work smart and not hard. So personally, this works for me. That's why I don't like using the app or the desktop app, because I would have to probably minimize the desktop app, come to where I've saved it, and then drag it all or copy it all the way there, which it's too much of a process for me. So I prefer using the in-browser Canva. So this is what you do. You stretch it out. I think it's okay. You stretch it out, and then now you come to edit image. Edit image, you just go to adjust. When it comes to adjust, you look for blur. This is blur. So you blur it out just a little bit. Let me use 20. No, I think 20 is too. Okay, yes, I'll maintain 25. So you blur it out, and then now, since it's blurred, I would want to duplicate the image, but it's sent to the background, so don't worry. So let me try and reduce the transparency just a little bit to 90, because the background is not what I'm looking for. I should have picked this right here. So position it and make sure it's well positioned, and stretch it out and position again. Yes, So now we have our finished design, and it's looking good. I know we didn't use the same microphone, but at least you get a whole concept. So that's that. Something simple, playing around with a lot of things. You need to play around with a lot of things. So thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful day. Please like, share, subscribe, and hope to see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.